Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here checking out Volgarr the Viking. I hate this so much. You have no idea how much I hate this. This is a masochist's dream. Is it a masochist or is it a sadist? I can never remember the two apart. Brain, words, things. So, if you hit start, you can change some of the options here, and well, I gotta admit I do like this. You can actually input more than one button for one kind of attack. The default have been, I'd say, enough for me, but nothing is enough. Nothing. You can also change your sound levels, and you can disable the Castlevania-style commands they've got here for doing things like rolling and throwing spears, which is nice. I did that right off the bat, and I'm perfectly fine with it. So, you can restart whatever world you're in, and there are online leaderboards. I don't have my Wi-Fi turned on right now, but yeah, those exist. Annoying as shit, but they exist. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through World 1, and then when I feel like I've seen enough, I'll skip through to World 2. Because I feel like getting an idea of this game is perfectly plausible just by playing the first level. With that said, let's do that. Very gory. It's actually... Oh, wait, no, hang on. If I come back here, I can go straight to the first level. Really should have done that beforehand, but there you go. Nope, never mind. Hang on. God damn it. I keep forgetting that you have to go left basically immediately, otherwise I won't let you do it. There we go. And I'm capable of selecting whatever world I want from the pause menu, so we'll do that later, but for now, let's go. So this is Volgarr the Viking. It's a platformer in the vein of Castlevania. And you might think, well, wasn't Shovel Knight in the vein of Castlevania? Well, Shovel Knight was in the vein of a lot of things, but it was basically just a renaissance of the sort of NES-style platformers that you had going on. Volgarr the Viking is full-on, old-school NES Castlevania. There's just no question about it. That's exactly what it is. You have a very simple set of controls. You have the movement controls, obviously. You have the ability to attack, which swings your sword out in front of you. However, if you're swinging your sword, you can get hit through the shield. However, your shield only takes a few hits via projectiles or other enemy attacks before it dies completely. You also have the spear. And the spear is one of the most useful tools you have in the game because you can not only use it as a method of long-range attack and defense, you can also use it as a way to build ladders. And building ladders, well, not so much building ladders as much as sticking them in the wall and then making platforms for yourself. I don't know why I said ladders. Oh, shit. I hate these jumps. I hate them so much. You also have the ability to double jump. As you can see, you've just got that big swing there that you do that it does hurt enemies. You do have a downwards stabbing attack sort of thing, but it is... well, it's not exactly reliable on anything that takes more than one hit to die. Because if you manage to, you know, do a down attack on something that has more than one hit point, you will take a hit. Like, guaranteed. So that's frustrating. You do also have a roll. However, the roll is the most annoying thing of all because you can roll through some things, but you can't roll through any sort of enemy attack. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. And I'm dead. Well, I had to show it off at some point. So, all that stuff I just did, I have to do it again. Now, the only reason it looks like I'm playing this game really well, to the point of being like a savant, is that I have been through the stage about 50 times. So I know what's coming up. I know what I need to do to get as many power-ups as possible. And I know exactly what's going on in every one of the levels. So I have the highest chance of avoiding taking any sort of damage. Damage in this game works in a few ways. So you've got your shield, which will fly off you at any sort of hit. And this includes the special shield, the one with Force Hammer on it. The one with Force Hammer on it lets you throw a charged spear that'll actually go through more than one enemy, which is a nice bonus. But yeah, if you get hit, you lose that. If you hit one of those treasure chests, you will get either a shield if you don't have one, a Thor shield if you don't have a Thor shield, or you'll get this electric helmet. And this electric helmet, what it does is it just gives you an extra hit point. But if you have the electric helmet on and you find another chest, you'll get a fire sword. And the fire sword does more damage to people, and it gives you a wider swirly attack there, like that. So it gives you a wider range double jump attack. So that's how that works. However, if you take a hit when you've got the fire sword or the lightning helmet and the fire sword, you will lose the lightning helmet and the fire sword at the same time. So keeping the best sword and like the most abilities in the... God damn it! Keeping the sword and the most abilities that you can requires that you don't take a hit. And this might be the worst thing in the goddamn world, because there are some parts of the stage which are... God damn it! Why is it so skitty now of all times? Shit! So, as I was saying, you basically have to be absolutely perfect in order to stand a chance, because there are parts of the stage that require, well, not require you, but if you don't want to have a really damn tough time of basically screwing yourself in a particular part of the stage because you don't have the power up required to get through it, you need to be absolutely perfect. And there are no checkpoints. You have to get to the very end of this level here without dying in order to get to the next level. And there are 2 levels in each world, and the second level is a temple. This temple, if I can just wait for this bloody snake to come back, there we go. This temple has a boss at the end of it. You have to get through the entirety of the temple to the boss without dying. Then you have to beat said boss in the temple without dying. Otherwise, you get sent all the way back to the start of the temple. This is the most frustrating game I've played in years because of these little facts. They do not have any goddamn checkpoints. It's just you finish the whole level in one go, or you have to just go and do it all again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. That's the whole idea. And it is the most frustrating goddamn thing in the world. Even the Dracula X remake, which is like, I'm not a big fan of these sorts of games, but at least the Dracula X remake, which is my favorite one of these kinds of games, here's the fire sword, by the way, but considering the area we're about to go through, I'm not going to get much use out of it. Yep, had a feeling that was going to happen. But yeah, even a game like the Dracula X Chronicles had mid-level checkpoints. In this game, it feels like you have to do a 5-minute gauntlet of literally doing nothing wrong until you get to the boss fight. Or the end of the level. I mean, it's basically the same thing, right? And it's like, if you don't, you're screwed. You lose. And you have to do this over and over and over again. And the annoying thing about it is that the thing about the level designs in this game is that the level designer hates your guts. He hates you with every fiber of his being. So, he, in some maniacal way, managed to design every level to hate you, and that you'll have no idea what you're getting into until you fuck up at least once. On multiple of these levels, that is exactly what happens. You will get into a situation where you cannot see what is coming to kill you until you've already been through it dead, and having to restart the level to do it. This is the temple level. That was the world, that was the outside level there. So you have no idea what's coming until you're already A, in the thick of it, and B, already dead, for the most part. And then you have to get through it perfectly. It's basically just a 10-minute memory test. Your actual button presses don't even really matter unless you get it absolutely right. So it's just a full-on memory test. That's basically what it is. It really doesn't feel like... I mean, there are some parts of the level that are, well, not so much friendly as you actually get to see what's coming. But that slope there, the only way you would have known what was coming is if you had your sound on and you were listening very intently. And even then, there's a part coming up here. Shit! There's a part coming up here that's even worse. It's right here, just right after I defeat this spinning plan thing. So you'll never know this guy is going to show up until he does. The game does work on a sort of... Stuff that's off-screen doesn't actually, like, exist. But only sometimes. And that's one of the more frustrating bits about this game, because there are some parts of the game where you can make enemies go off-screen, and you'll think, oh, great, they won't chase me anymore. Bzzz, wrong. Some will chase you, some won't, and the rules are really inconsistent. I mean, let me rephrase that. They're consistent to the situation that they're in, but they're not consistent across the entire game. So again, you won't know the rules until you've been through the segment at least once and died once. And this happens way too often. I've played through the first 2 worlds in this game's 6 worlds, and there's also apparently, get this, a harder version of each of the worlds. It's insane. I don't know what it is about this game that drives me stir-fry crazy. Like, I can actually do this to kill that red guy. There, that guy's dead. You might think, well, he's off-screen, you wouldn't hit him. Well, turns out I can. Don't ask me why. He's actually a really, really long distance, like a full screen off-screen, and yet somehow I still managed to hurt him. Don't ask me why. And it's a shame, too, because the mechanics in this game are actually really good. Like, it is a very, like, NES Castlevania style game where you can't control yourself mid-jump unless you do the double jump. You do have a delay on your attack timings and all that. And there are actually, like, times where... So, for example, you actually throw your spear faster in the air than you would on the ground. So there are things like that to get used to, and the animations and stuff are all very meaty, and there's a lot of gore that really does help brighten up things a bit, and the game's graphical style is actually pretty nice, although it's nothing amazing, but it's fun to look at, and that's good enough for me. He's done a good job building the basics. The problem is that he's a masochist and he wants you to die, so he's built all the levels to be absolutely insane. And yes, this is basically a puzzle. You just have to... Well, you can go through there to get an extra chest. We've got the fire sword. We probably don't want to risk it. I didn't actually see that guy the first time because, god damn it. Yep. You wouldn't know that's coming. And, well, I guess you could guess that was coming, but at the same time, you'd have to be listening really intently and then just... Fuck me! You'd have to be listening really intently. And just, you know, basically guess? I'll go play World 2 now. I can select World 2 and I can start on World 2. You saw the absolute majority of that level. There's a boss... But the thing is, he just has his wooden plank shield. You have to throw spears into it, you have to jump onto them, and you have to get to his head and hit it a few times. The only way I was able to beat that boss was to have the fire sword at the time so that I could stab him enough times to kill him without his troops showing up down the bottom. Because when his troops start showing up down the bottom, it becomes almost impossible to reach the bastard's face without getting hit by the goddamn guy that comes in the bottom. It's the most annoying thing in the goddamn world. So here we are in the water level, and it's basically the same thing. Just a couple of new enemy types, new obstacles, like sea mines there for some reason, don't ask me why. And just shit like that. Hi. Bastard. You may notice that I've been getting jewels. Jewels are basically for the leaderboard. That's basically all they do. There are also hidden power-ups and stuff hidden throughout the game. There's Majolia's Hammer, which is a bonus extra hit that you can take that will... Shit, I forgot about this guy. Asshole. It gives you a bonus hit and it kills everything around you. There are also other things that you can pick up throughout the levels. And I did end up eventually Googling everything that you could get after I found the Majolineer power-up, because I imagined there was more, and there wasn't actually that much more. There's life fires that you get from... Son of a bitch. There's a life fire that you get by killing bosses, and I believe they're also hidden, that let you access the extra worlds. The harder worlds, I mean. Not so much the extra worlds as the harder worlds. And... even worse is that those life fires are exactly what I say they are. They're extra lives for those levels. If you're playing the regular level, you get infinite lives, despite the fact that you're basically just restarting over and over again anyway. So it really just does feel like you're playing the entire level over again. So extra lives feel kind of useless. But yeah, you run out of extra lives like in the temple, and it'll send you back to the start of the open level, and it's just like, fuck, really? Yep, I did that. That was a pain in the ass. Just kill me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It's one of the hardest games I have played in a very long time, and not all for the right reasons. The controls work. It is satisfying to control Volgarr. And the designs and variety they got going on just in the first two stages alone is really nice. The problem is, the level designer is a dick. He is a dick, he is a gigantic ass, and he will do everything to make your day miserable. I feel like I'm missing something big. There we go. And you die too. Nope, you don't die, but I just get to skip you because I can do that. And guess what? This guy's off screen, so I can do that. And apparently, no, I can't. That's a bit of a dick. Yeah, as you can see, I took out a guy from a full screen away in the previous stage, and here it just didn't work. It's just weird. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah. I'm sick of this. I really am. I can't in good conscience recommend it to anyone who let me try that again. If you're an absolute masochist, you will love the shit out of this. Everyone else, tread very carefully. Again, one of the hardest games I've played, and again, not for the right reasons. It's a giant memory test. That's really all it is. It's just, remember that you have to do X, Y, Z. It really doesn't feel like there's any personal skill involved, purely because it just seems impossible for any, like, realistic player to be able to see through, like, all the death traps and stuff they've got going in the first time they go through. And it just feels really unfair for that reason. Combine that with the checkpoints being horrendously far apart, even by standards of this game. and the rules being inconsistent throughout, and it annoys me 10 times more than any Castlevania. Shit, really? Really? Are you serious? Jesus Christ. It's more frustrating than any Castlevania game has ever been. I hate it. This coming from someone who likes the old Castlevania games and games that can be realistically fair like it. I mean, I feel like I'm playing the 7th, was it the 7th or 6th world? The last world. I feel like I'm playing that over and over and over again, where you have to get through the last 3 stages of the game and beat the boss all on the same health bar, or it doesn't count and you have to go back and do the whole thing again. Playing Volgarr the Viking feels like playing that part of Ninja Gaiden over and over and over again, and it is the most horrendous thing imaginable. I'll keep playing until I die again, which is probably going to be soon, and then this video ends, because I don't want to play it anymore. I really don't. Just throw that. If you want a game like this that isn't an absolute bastard, play either Shovel Knight or Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles, or Castlevania Chronicles, the PlayStation 1 game. One of those 3 will do you well. If you thought those games weren't hard enough, you insane maniac, you will love this. You will absolutely adore this. You will get every penny of your money's worth from Volgarr the Viking. You will get every last cent. As for me, I plan on deleting this game and never looking at it again. I'm not going to touch it. I remember getting this for free at some point. I cannot remember exactly when I got it. Or how I got it, for that matter. And I played the game for about 5 minutes, and then I put it down, and I'm like, if I go through this anymore, I'm going to throw my controller across the room. Having to play this game for an extended period of time proves I was exactly right. There are, of course, well, not so much secret passages, but different passages through the levels, and you get items if you go the right way, of course. Oh, I've got the flame sword, and it's the temple level now. Let's see how far I can get through this. This is where I got up to before I quit the game in absolute frustration. The capture kit is screwing itself right now. Why is it doing this? Yep, it failed. Alright. I'll end the video there, because if I make it go on any longer, it'll screw up. So, yeah. This has been Blue Maxima. Don't buy this game unless you absolutely want to hurt yourself. I'll see you all next time.